The map had called it Blackwood Ridge, but the locals down in the valley just called it The Quiet. Elias had thought the name was an invitation, a promise of absolute solitude away from the relentless hum of the city. He had hiked for 6 hours, pushing deep into the dense, ancient pines, until the trail dissolved into a thick carpet of copper needles. By the time he pitched his tent, the sun had already slipped behind the jagged peaks, bleeding the color from the sky, and leaving the forest steeped in a bruised twilight. He built a fire, the crackle of dry deadwood, the only sound in the vast, suffocating silence. It was then he noticed the trees, impossibly tall, twisted, leaning inward, as if trying to peer over his shoulder. He shook off the feeling, just the isolation playing tricks on his mind. Then, snap. He froze. It wasn't the crack of the fire. It came from the darkness behind his tent. A heavy, deliberate sound, like a boot breaking a thick branch. "Hello?" he called out, his voice, thin and frail, instantly swallowed by the trees. Silence. He swept his flashlight across the tree line. Nothing moved. "Just a deer," he muttered, though his heart hammered against his ribs. Then the wind started. It wasn't a normal breeze. It moved low to the ground, a cold, creeping draft that smelled of damp earth, and something older, something sweet and rotten. And with the wind came the whispers, faint at first, like dry leaves skittering across stone. But as Elias strained to listen, the sound coalesced into distinct, overlapping voices. Frantic, desperate, pleading. "Who's out there?" he demanded. The whispering stopped. The silence that followed was worse, heavy, expectant. Suddenly, the fire sputtered and was snuffed out in a fraction of a second. Total darkness slammed into him. He fumbled with the flashlight, clicking, clicking, but the beam flickered and died. In the pitch black, the smell of rot grew overwhelming, and then he felt it. A drop in temperature so sudden and severe that his breath plumed in the air. Something was standing just beyond the ashes of his fire. He couldn't see it, but he could feel the mass of it. A void, darker than the night itself. Elias. His name was breathed directly into his ear. The voice was hollow, devoid of warmth. It sounded like wind scraping through hollow bones. He scrambled backward until his back hit the rough bark of a tree. A silhouette formed in the darkness. Tall, unnaturally thin, with limbs that hung too long. No face. Only a pale, featureless expanse where a face should be. The forest came alive around him. The trees groaned, their branches twisting, snapping, leaning closer, forming a cage of wood and shadow. And the whispers returned, no longer distant, a deafening chorus rising from the earth itself.